The night they told me to leave, my backpack was already half zipped. Mom stood by the staircase like a judge who'd already decided the sentence. Dad wouldn't look at me. My sister hovered behind them, phone glowing in her palm, smiling at something that wasn't me. "We need the rooms," Mom said, calm, practical, like she was rearranging furniture, not erasing me. "Your sister's friends are flying in early, just for a couple weeks." I reminded them my SATs were in 10 days. I reminded them I didn't have anywhere else to go. Dad finally spoke. "You'll figure it out." I looked at my sister then, the golden one, the bride. I asked her quietly if I could crash on her couch, just until the exam was over. She laughed. Not cruel, worse, dismissive. "I can't have that energy around right now," she said. "It's my wedding." When I asked where she thought I should go, she shrugged. Not my problem. That was the moment something in me went cold. She hadn't always been like this. Or maybe she had, and I'd been too busy surviving to notice. When we were younger, I covered for her, took blame, lent money I never got back. I watched our parents bend rules for her while tightening them around my neck. She learned early that love came with applause, and she learned how to keep clapping for herself. Her fiancé, Evan, was different, polite, observant, the kind of man who asked follow-up questions. He once told me he admired how independent I was. I remember thinking he didn't know the half of it. I slept those nights in places that didn't ask questions, libraries until closing, a friend's car once. I studied wherever there was light. I learned how invisible you become when people decide you're inconvenient. And in that quiet, patterns sharpen. I noticed how often Evan wasn't around when my sister took certain calls, how she locked her phone but never her laptop, how names didn't match voices, how receipts hid in plain sight. One night, while she was at a dress fitting and I was briefly allowed back to grab winter clothes, her laptop chimed. I didn't go digging. I didn't need to. The screen was already open. Messages, photos, plans that didn't include Evan's name. I took pictures, only what mattered. Dates, words, proof. Then I closed the laptop and zipped my bag the rest of the way. I didn't cry, not then. Crying is loud. I needed quiet. I needed leverage. I spent the next week thinking like someone who had nothing left to lose and everything left to expose. I rehearsed the message in my head until it was clean, factual, impossible to argue with. No threats, no insults, just truth. I found Evan's email easily, his family's too, public, proud. Wedding websites make people careless. I waited until 3 days before the ceremony, close enough to hurt, far enough to land. Then I pressed send. I didn't write much. I explained who I was. I explained why I was reaching out. I attached the evidence. I ended with a single line. "I thought you deserved to know who you're marrying." That was it. No signature, no revenge speech. Silence does more damage. The fallout was immediate. My phone lit up like a crime scene. Missed calls, voicemails stacked with panic. My parents suddenly remembered my name. My sister's messages shifted from confusion to fury to bargaining in under an hour. Evan didn't call. That told me everything. By morning, the wedding was postponed. By afternoon, it was canceled. By night, Evan had moved out. My sister showed up where I was staying, mascara streaked, rage vibrating under her skin. "You ruined my life," she hissed. I looked at her and felt nothing. "You did that yourself," I said. "I just stopped lying for you." She told me I was dead to her. My parents echoed it later, over the phone, their voices trembling with embarrassment more than grief. I let them talk. I let them burn. Weeks passed. I took my SATs with borrowed pencils and a clarity I'd never known. I did better than anyone expected, better than I'd ever done before. The silence from my family stretched, then cracked. Mom called first, apologies wrapped in excuses. Dad followed, quieter, asking if we could reset. I told them no, not angrily, precisely. I told them they chose comfort over responsibility. appearances over their child. I told them I'd learned how easily they could discard me, and I wasn't interested in pretending otherwise. They didn't argue. They couldn't. I heard through mutual whispers that Evan thanked whoever sent the message, that his parents were furious, but not me, that my sister tells people I sabotaged her out of jealousy. Let her. I know what I did. I didn't scream. I didn't beg. I didn't break anything that wasn't already rotten. I sent the truth to the one place it couldn't be buried. And when the dust settled, I was still standing, not because I was forgiven, but because I finally chose myself and made damn sure they understood the cost of choosing against me.